So, the Gospel of Wealth is something that's written by Andrew Carnegie. And Andrew Carnegie is a Scottish American businessman who is known for being filthy rich. So, he actually moved from Scotland and came to America where he built a fortune. So, he actually lived what we term the American dream because he came with nothing. He started as a telegrapher. So he was just like sending messages between people, and then he ended up investing in oil, in steel, and then he ended up creating an empire. So he actually started from relatively nothing, although he came from a middle class family. So he is arguably the richest American on record. He's richer than Rockefeller because Rockefeller's net worth, calculated in today's dollars, was something around 350 billion. And Andrew Carnegie's net worth was 380 billion dollars. And that's crazy. And that's a crazy amount of money for a person to have. But he's regarded as the grand poobah, the harbinger of the philanthropic wave that we now see, that people are more philanthropic now because of the Gospel of Wealth. So the Gospel of Wealth is an interesting article that he actually wrote. The Gospel of Wealth is is written for people who have a lot of money. So in this document, he's writing about how people who amass wealth are people who actually deserve it. He's speaking about how the people who have money are people who are contributing a lot to society. So in that sense, the people who contribute are supposed to be rewarded. And in any case, the way that the standard of living that people have today is better than we had yesterday. So that is a result of the people who create products for people today. So this reward is not something that's bad in and of itself, but it's something that is a testament to their contribution to the greater good. So this was something that is seen in different societies in different ways. So in the Indian community, for example, like Native American Indians, you'd see that the chief lives in a tent that's pretty much the same as everyone else. So they don't have this segregation of class. They don't have this caste system. So in different cultures and societies, we have different tribes, different castes, and different groups of people. And now more so that we now have different stratas in the society. So we have the rich, the middle class, the poor, the super poor, the impoverished, and all of that. And this is something that he was actually addressing, that it is something that is bringing a disunity among people. So we don't have harmony because some people are too rich. Right now, the richest person in the world is Jeff Bezos, and his net worth is 100 and something billion. That's a lot of money. But imagine this, Andrew Carnegie was 3 times more than that. About 4 times actually, because he is 380 billion dollars. So that's insane wealth, and he is the richest man who ever lived in terms of that. Not exactly the richest man who ever lived, but the richest industrialist who's on the record for having that much money in America. There are other people who may not be mentioned, and with that wealth, he wrote this saying that this wealth disparity is a result of people being able to contribute something towards society. But this destabilizes the entire society at the same time. So what is the solution for this? So in the Gospel of Wealth, what he's actually talking about is the need for people who have money to intelligently and wisely, prudently distribute the money for the greater good of the whole society in order to generate wealth for society. So this is the essence of what he's talking about. So he actually espouses what he's doing with what Jesus did. He's saying that Jesus was a person who was doing things for the greater good of society. And what I am talking about in this article, as he writes it, is that I want to be able to do the same thing but with different means, because we live in a different society. So the greatest thing that he was speaking about is that a person who has wealth, who has money, who has all of these means, is supposed to find the best way to improve his brother's life by his money, by his worth, by his net worth, and whatever resources that he has. So to him, having money is you being entrusted by society to distribute that money wisely. So giving money to a person, like if a person's begging for money or something like that, if you just give them $5, that might not even be beneficial to you or that person. So you're supposed to be able to calculate the best way that has the highest or the greatest results for everybody in your distribution of your own wealth. So in this sense, you're supposed to know how to invest in society and create the greatest good with your amount of money. So this is how he used to see his wealth, his immense wealth, massive wealth, with a net worth that big. So in doing that, he was just calling upon everybody who's rich and everyone who has that much money to be able to distribute this wealth in a way that protects the society, that enriches humanity, and that actually helps people to be better. So in light of this, what he actually did with his billions of dollars was he started research institutions. He started researching into science. He started taking people to school, started universities, and started open parks for people so that people could enrich their minds, and all of these different things. So he actually has a lot of things that are still operative today. Some of his institutions are like hero foundations. He helped black people in those days, black people in the Tuskegee University, to start that university, and started the National Negroes Association of Businesses. So he was doing all of that, and in some instances, he was instrumental in different types of people, in different of different races, of different colors, of different creeds, and this is something that is hardly seen today in any case, or in different variations. People hardly do that for other people, especially rich people nowadays. And what he actually did was to start the wave of philanthropy. So that is the old generation of people who had massive wealth, and he is the one who started this gospel of wealth. And after that, now we see the giving pledge, and the giving pledge has so many people who are now giving money, or their net worth, at least half of it. And then we now have the Rockefeller Foundation after that. So all of these things had this effect. After he was able to expose what he actually thought and his good intentions, or his good purpose. I think it's actually something that's really commendable. Although no one is going to be perfect and nothing is going to be perfect, and I think that if people do actually have that much wealth, they do owe it to a certain degree to society. But on the other hand, giving money is not the best way to always deal with certain people, because in some cases, and in the Gospel of Wealth, in that document, he's actually saying how the people who often need, who are often in need of money, are not always the people who should get the money, but sometimes the people who don't have the resources actually shouldn't get the resources. And sometimes you might have your own business and you might be looking for funding, you might be looking for some capital and stuff like that, and you're not getting it. And the reason you're not getting it is so that you can get it yourself. And sometimes this is more important. So the whole essence of this gospel of wealth is that you're supposed to be a person who builds ladders. So if you create your own wealth in your own space, you're supposed to be able to create ladders for other people so that they can climb. So at the end of the day, it's all about how people themselves can help themselves, not you like spoon feeding them or something like that. So this is not going to help you, it's not going to help the person you're feeding, but it's going to be a detriment to society. So there was this other guru who found a cocoon, and then he gave it to this other boy, right? And then this cocoon had a worm, a caterpillar in it that was gonna be a butterfly one day. So he was like, hey, keep this cocoon, okay? But I'll give you one instruction. Do not help the butterfly open the cocoon when it's time for it to come out of the cocoon, no matter what. Do not do anything when the butterfly is about to break the cocoon. The boy's like, all right, cool. I won't do anything. I'll just watch it because it's pretty cool. I want to see it happen. So the day comes when the cocoon starts cracking and the butterfly wants to come out of the cocoon. And the boy sees the butterfly struggling. So he's so eager to see what the butterfly is going to look like. So he doesn't want the butterfly to die. So he helps the butterfly by cracking open the cocoon so that the butterfly can fly and be happy. You know, this is what everyone wants to see, right? People progressing, things happening, people having their breakthrough. So the boy helps this butterfly to crack this cocoon. But little did he know that when a butterfly is emerging from this cocoon, it has to break its own cocoon so that its wings are strong enough for those wings to flap. So in helping this butterfly to break this cocoon, the wings were not strong enough for the butterfly to fly, and the butterfly died. So the same thing will happen in terms of philanthropy, in terms of charity. So when people are engaged in this type of endeavor, giving people money is not always the best solution. So you might be in that position where you have a great idea, a great business, a great concept, whatever you're doing is awesome, but you don't have the means to like lubricate everything. And when this happens, perhaps this is you breaking out of your cocoon, and your breakthrough is really up to you. So don't look for someone to come and save you. I know so many people who do not want to take responsibility for their problems, but instead think that, all right, if only I can get a loan, my problems will be solved. If only I can get someone to invest in this idea, my problem will be solved. If only this and that happened, my problems will be solved. But this is not the proper way to operate, because what you have to do is to create your own infrastructure. So in this endeavor, Andrew Carnegie actually opened about 3,000 libraries. 3,000 libraries. That's a lot of libraries. He opened these libraries so that people have the access to all of the wealth of wisdom in the world. And in your city, I'm pretty sure in your city, in your neighborhood, in your area, there's a library, and that place is full of ideas. You want an original idea? Great, someone's already written an original idea for you to go and get it in a book. So all of these things are within your reach. If you're actually listening to this, it means that these things are within your reach and you're able to get access to whatever you want to get. And if you're actually listening to this, it means that you are the person who's on the other side. You're not on the receiving end. If you're watching this and if you're receiving this information clearly, you are on the giving side. You are a person who is supposed to be building ladders. You're not a person who's supposed to have your hands stuck out, because you are a person who's a leader. And I can tell that because you're watching this. So I just hope you also are able to create ladders in your own environment, in your own space, in your own sphere. Whatever you do, just do it for the general good of other people. And this is what common law is all about. This is the common law in the community. just do no harm to anyone. But instead, if the law is do not do harm, that's it, right? But what you do as an altruistic individual is to help people, and no one actually tells you, hey, help people. But what the law says is don't do harm. But what you're supposed to do is to do your best to elevate your environment, elevate your neighborhood, elevate your family life, elevate your loved ones, and all of that. And this is how you become a better human being and how you prosper in everything. And let your wealth be a blessing unto other people. You are entrusted with the wealth that you have. So if you're faithful with little, you'll be trusted with little. If you're faithful with a lot, you'll be trusted with a lot. But it all comes from how you treat the little that you have at this very moment, and how you treat the little talent that you think is a little talent, but it's not. It's just waiting for you to expose it to a bigger light. It is just waiting for you to start flapping your wings, for you to break through that cocoon, through a breakthrough. So your breakthrough is right here and right now, and I wish you the best of luck in everything that you do. Thanks a lot.